Citizenship skills, life skills, and personal values. This is the final video in the section in the classroom, and we're looking at each of these three things as a way that teachers can help students understand more the real world around them, and teenagers may not have a chance to discuss some of the things that we're about to point out here. Within the topic citizenship values, these might just come up incidentally in a class discussion, or they might be used as topics to use as a separate class. And they include things like love and support of country. Patriotism can be expressed in many ways. Respect for the national anthem, our national holidays, and national events is encouraged. Respect for our laws and why they change and how they make our country safe can be part of an ongoing discussion. Participation in basic citizen rights like voting is a significant topic to look at. It's interesting to try to understand the reasons for low voter turnout. And so looking at the concept of democracy and strengths and weaknesses can also be a part of the citizenship examination. A good citizen is an informed citizen. How a person can be kept informed on the issues of the day could be examined. Teachers can make reference to media and social media outlets. Where is the best place to get our news? How important is it to be informed? Topics like climate change and concern for environment and responsible waste management are important things to look at within the various subject areas. Social activism can also be looked at a personal and a local and national level. How one can contribute to the betterment of society is a good idea. The value of being a volunteer can be discussed as well. So the teacher has many opportunities to look at citizenship issues, and they certainly are things that students might not normally think about. In terms of life skills, beyond our subject area, I think teachers have a responsibility to teach life skills wherever possible. I can recall having a guest speaker in one time. She was a president of a major company in my community, and she was talking about the future employment of her company. And what she said was very interesting, because she said that before I hire you, when talking to these students, she said I would check your attendance record first. I want someone who is responsible and who will be there, not somebody necessarily with the highest marks. And I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to hear from a person who was the executive of a company. Another aspect of the real world in terms of life skills would be the things that students could consider about working, being to work on time, handing in reports on time, cooperating with everyone, can be simulated in the school environment. Rather than put out brush fires with these things, I like to take class time at the beginning of the semester and talk to classes about some of these things and their importance, not just about those in the school, but also as how they can apply to the real world and their job and things that they will have to deal with in the future. Concern for others, taking the initiative to get things done, being a good problem solver, being a critical thinker, being supportive of each other. These can all be done in the context of the school and in the classroom, and all serve as work preparation for the future, their future needs. In the area of personal values, I think respect can be respect can be taught in many ongoing ways. First of all, I'm not in agreement with teachers being called by their first name. I always feel that familiarity brings contempt, but that may be looked upon differently by different people. Personal values of integrity and fairness and honesty and dependability and compassion are some of the examples that a teacher can address. Sometimes a teacher has to realize that the subject information is not necessarily the most important thing that students can learn from you. You have a unique opportunity to be a role model for these students, and in some cases you may be the only one that they have at that time. So I know that students have said to me after graduation that they remembered the subject matter that I taught, but they also remembered that I had values and that this was something they caught on to very quickly. And if you do that in a respectful way, they appreciate that. So it's a long accumulative process. It can take place in the school environment, and these are the formative value learning years, and I think a teacher has an important role to play here. So that completes then the last video on the section in the classroom. We proceed next to the section entitled Excellence Defined.